Right.
Well, you will only be wearing it today.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Okay. Okay, how's any problems with your neck or
No.
if I probably want it to come down actually. I'm sorry. Is
No.
that?
Hey, you're fine. I was just gonna help.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I undid it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can just bring that forward a little bit more.
More?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to see how far that is from the cap edge.
There.
Yeah. That'll work. We can
Okay.
work with that. I'm going to just Velcro this here. Is that too tight?
I mean, it's tight.
Is it uncomfortable? Do we need to
No,
loosen it
I mean, I can survive.
for just the
Yeah.
time being?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's snug. We want to go for a snug fit. Evelyn says extra small is the way to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a look and make sure that this midline stitching is midline.
Okay.
And so that how does that look to you, Sean? Evelyn?
It looks straight to me.
Okay, perfect. That looks good. So we're gonna just write some initials. 1, 2, 3, 4, last 4.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I forgot you. I forgot all that.
I'm gonna go ahead and just measure from the nasion to the cap edge, and that's 2.5 centimeters. I'm just gonna mark that on the cap. And Evelyn, do you have a green? Do we have a green marker? Okay, I'm just gonna palpate for the inion. Okay. I'm just gonna get that distance from the inion to the nasion. And that is, I've got it at 39, so we'll go ahead and mark it 19.5.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Got that as 39. Okay, perfect. And we'll go ahead. Now we need to see the tragus. Which is perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to go from tragus to tragus, top of the tragus to the other top of the tragus, through that midpoint that we just found. We'll say 36.5. And if you would just mark at the 18.25. Thanks very much. I'll go ahead and just see where those intersect. And it's right there. And we'll go ahead and just kind of identify that as the vertex, CZ. Pass that back to you. And we'll go ahead and get the circumference. right over the anion and back, and so I've got that as 56.5. And we'll just run the PEST program, and we've got all that. Okay, so we've got an X of 6.5. So we're just going to start from the midpoint right over the brow line and travel 6.5. And Sean, if you could mark that.
Green?
Yes, please. 6.5, fantastic. I'm going to just label that the X. And then the Y is
Just
10.26. We're going to travel from our vertex and the direction of that X, 10.26. Sorry about that. 10.26 is going to be right here. And that's what we're going to label F3. We're going to take, this is just a template of our treatment coil. This is a MagVenture coil that we're using. We're going to orient these lines, and Sean, you can let me know when these are parallel to the midline.
So back just a hair right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And we're going to make our mark with this centered at the F3 right there. And it's often helpful just to kind of give a little indication as the direction of where the coil should be positioned from there. Okay, we'll label that TX. Okay, so at this point we'll just do 20% of the tragus to tragus, and we'll use that red again. So 20%, someone can help with the calculation. 36.5 times
7.2.
I'm gonna put this in the key. That one's a little tricky for me to do in my head.
Did not.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay, it was 36.5 times 20%. 7.3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hear the 2.5.
All right, so we're gonna travel from the vertex 7.3 centimeters in the direction of the tragus. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
All right, 7.3. We're going to label that C3. That's our estimated location for the motor hotspot. We're going to give ourselves just a few more little heuristic lines and points to kind of give ourselves some orientation as we're trying to find the motor hotspot. I'm going to go 7.3 anterior to the vertex and just put a little line there. I'm also going to go 5 centimeters anterior, just put a little line there. I'm going to go 5 centimeters here as well. And then I'm just going to connect these lines, and that'll make sure that our coil is oriented at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so we're going to be kind of searching in that area for the motor hotspot. All right, so we've got TX, F3, X, CZ, and C3. We just need to find MT. We're going to plug in our stimulation coil.
Did you sign that?
You did.
Okay. Making sure.
asked if she signed consent.
Yes.
We're not using the treatment coil, just the stimulation, but she did sign consent.
Well, this is the
That's a
training
good
video,
point.
so we
That's a
did
good-
it. We did all the
Yes,
things that we were supposed
yes.
to do.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
That's why we have Evelyn here. Do you know what you're getting into?
She waited until now.
The mapping was one thing.
Putting the magnet on the head is another thing.
I've had it done to me. So.
Yeah, when I went to California, they made us sign. Even though it was just for testing.
Yeah,
Made us sign
yeah.
consent.
Yeah, so we're just gonna set this to a 19-minute MDD on the Mag Venture or to a default. Both of those will allow us to give single pulse stimulations. We'll kind of start at about 30. Could start at 50. But all right. There's a before we do any pulsing, we're going to make sure that everyone's wearing appropriate ear protection. So
It's
you
mine.
could
Let me get.
get some for Dr. Hillier. You have some?
You have yours?
I do not have mine. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Thank you.
You never will. You never will.
Never? Oh. You're not worried about your hearing?
No.
I mean, I feel like it's important for me to hear who I'm,
I
you know,
see.
when they say, hey, you
Yeah.
know.
These are pretty effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna
Yes.
pass that over there and make sure once again you don't have any metal in the head or any electronics, any credit cards, things that might get affected by a magnet. Good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna demo this on my arm and you can see my fingers twitch as a result. See that? Okay. Would you like me to demonstrate on your forearm?
Sure.
Okay. Yep. So we're going to be doing the same thing, but on your head, trying to identify the part of the motor cortex that runs kind of along the vertex down to the tragus, and that will be moving or just give us an isolated thumb twitch. What we want to do is have no tone in your arm, so to the extent that you can really just let that arm relax and let that hand dangle. Does that feel pretty relaxed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just begin by applying a pulse. Now there might be a little pressure. Sometimes I have to press the coil,
Okay.
so just let me know.
Sure.
If at any point this is uncomfortable, or sometimes it can feel like a tap. Just let me know if we need to
Okay.
pause. Okay. So we're gonna have Sean and Evelyn helping to see if there's any thumb twitch. I don't see any thumb twitch. I think we're probably at too low of a dose, and we're just gonna increase that. We're gonna start again from the C3. And we get a big clear mark, so I'm going to have you mark this location with red. And so I like to just, I'll give a first, okay. I'll give a first mark. And so that just helps to kind of create your map of where you've seen some movement. So I think we can actually go down on the dose from that. We went up from 30 to 40. We can probably try that same location, see if we get anything more isolated.
Yeah.
And now we see really just an isolated finger,
Pointer.
right? Finger, maybe a little middle finger.
The tongue.
You saw thumb?
Just the tongue.
Okay. So we could probably still hunt a little bit more for the thumb, but we're in that region. So
What is that? The tongue? It's the index
shake that
finger.
hand up just once. Perfect. Nice. I think I saw a little
Soft.
pointer finger. Yeah. I'm gonna keep just kind of moving just a little bit. Small little movements laterally, anteriorly. Anything there?
No.
And medially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Four fingers.
More fingers. I think I'm going to increase the dose just a little bit to see if I can find that thumb, because right now it's a little invasive.
Index
Again,
finger.
really that just pointer finger, yeah. I like that spot. Sean, can you give me another? It's
Yeah.
just slightly more lateral to the previous marking. Thank you. That seemed like more middle.
Mid finger.
Yeah. That was really a pretty pure pointer.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna come just a little bit further.
Nothing.
You see anything?
Nothing.
How you doing?
Good.
Doing okay?
Great.
All right, fantastic. I'm gonna let off. I know that's a bit of pressure on the head. Sometimes we just want to, after we've pulsed for 10 or 15 times, just kind of let things reset, wiggle the hand. Shake it out, you know. We might try it with a thumb up and just see if we can, you know, identify that isolated thumb. If not, sometimes we will just accept that pointer finger. So let's come back here. Yeah, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Really kind of more just the fingers there. That thumb up, okay. A little bit there,
Yeah.
right? A little bit. So let's go ahead and mark that one. That's kind of more
there.
medial and anterior to the previous location. Yeah, thank you. All right, just wiggle it out one more time. Perfect, and just let it rest. The resting motor threshold is found when the arm is palm down, and that's kind of typically what we're finding. When we find one with a thumb, if you're having trouble locating that twitch, you can do an active motor threshold. It's going to give you a little bit lower stimulation intensity, but it can help you just identify it a bit better. All right, so come back. What'd you see?
Saw a little thumb.
Oh, you did?
I think so.
I just saw fingers,
Oh.
but okay. I'm gonna settle on that spot right there. That seems to be, yeah, we can get one more marking here. All right. We'll use that to, because that seemed like a pretty pure pointer finger. We'll run the pest program on that location and just find the actual MT. So I was just on 38, so we'll set that to 38. I'll say yes. It'll tell us to adjust the dose a little bit. We'll go down to 31.
I don't know.
Doing okay?
35.
Shake out that hand. Perfect.
38. Oh yeah.
Here. That was a lot.
Yep. 36. You can let them kind of reset. They might get a little hyperpolarized if you pulse too quickly. So, yeah. Perfect. Arms nice and relaxed. 37.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
37 again.
Okay. All right. No, I didn't see anything.
Says complete.
At what?
37.
37? Okay. All right, so you, I'm going to go ahead and just mark one more thing. We're going to mark that location. We're going to mark this location here as our MT. So, and then we'll go ahead and just have you, well, we're not going to do a treatment, but we'll just demonstrate positioning it. All right, so we'll adjust the feet, and you can just let us know your comfort. That's good?
That's good.
All right. How's the head height? We can raise it or lower it.
I think it's fine.
Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna just, you just kind of lean your head back into it, and this pillow is gonna kind of compress around to help ensure that your head stays steady during the treatment. But you're not getting any treatment, but that's just part of it. And so you would, for a treatment, you would want to just line up the edge of this coil with that treatment edge that you've identified. So, important things to look for are to ensure that the center of the coil is making contact with that F3 location. And so typically after you position it, which our coil has a tendency to slip a little bit, so you have to kind of put it just a touch, but that's general.
And just kind of make sure when you view it that that center is making good contact. So
That looks.
okay. That's it.
Well done. All right.